Hey guys, hey everybody, hello and welcome. Welcome to Tuzee Tuesdays. I'm so glad you are here. My name is Tuzee. For those of you who do not know me, I'm a singer-songwriter and Tuzee Tuesdays host, and I'm very excited that you are here today. We have another great topic today. Last week's topic was absolutely amazing. It was so inspiring. If you've not had a chance to listen, I really encourage you to go and listen to it because it was so good. It was sensitive. It was much needed. It was inspiring. And it just felt so good to talk about that last week. So what we talked about last week, we talked about forgiveness. We talked about forgiveness last week. I feel I'm so dry. We talked about forgiveness last week, and it was a sensitive topic. Absolutely, very sensitive, but a very good topic. And we talked about, we did an exercise about looking yourself in the mirror and literally telling yourself, I forgive me. And it was a good exercise. So I hope you've had a chance to do it. If you've not had a chance, I really want to encourage you to take a moment and do it. It doesn't mean by doing that exercise, everything you're going to be like, bam, everything's forgiven. I'm like, see myself as this, and you can go. Some of us might have to do it a few times. Some of us might have to continuously look ourselves in that mirror and forgive ourselves over and over and again so that we can eventually go on with our life as we are supposed to. But yeah, it was a great topic, very good, and thank you guys so much for the comments. And that was beautiful. It was very beautiful last week. So I had planned to actually do a part 2 for that topic because we ended at a place, and I think it actually does need a part 2 because we need to talk about why we forgive. We talk about forgiving ourselves, how it's important, but why do we do it? Why should we forgive ourselves or even people that may have hurt us? So that was going to be my topic today, but we are not going to be talking about that today. We will probably talk about it next week, but today there's some great things happening. There is a very special thing that's happening this week that I wanted to talk about. And what is that, you may ask? It's March break. Hey, hi. I just want to say hi to every kid in the room. If there's a kid in the room, and I want to say happy March break. Happy March break to all of you guys. Happy March break. Happy March break parents. Happy March break kids. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. We are going to be talking about March break. Because it's a hot topic, and I think we should visit March break a little bit because I love March break, and if you're not a parent, I will apologize for our topic today, but it's a great topic to listen. Maybe you're an aunt or niece or something, and it's a great topic for you to listen in and get some information about these things. I can't speak today. These things. It's a lot of TH. That was one thing when I came to Canada that I found very hard to pronounce, because in Liberia we do not really pronounce our TH. We say that. I'm actually still pronouncing my TH right now, but we say it a little different than Canadians. So it's to say the and these and things all together in one sentence can be a little. That's my excuse, and I'm sticking with that. But anyways, guys, I want to say welcome back to Tuzee Tuesdays. And like I said, for all the kids, if there's kids in the room, welcome to Tuzee Tuesdays. If it is your first time watching today, here at Tuzee Tuesdays, we inspire, we have fun, we add value, and in doing that, we learn to love ourselves enough that we can love on others. And that is the goal of Tuzee Tuesdays. Every show I do, like today and every day, the goal is to inspire you and to add value to us all and learn to love ourselves enough so we can love on others. How many of you agree with me that our world needs love? Yes. We need to learn to love ourselves enough that we can love on other people, because love is it's much needed in our world right now. But anyways, we are not talking about love today. There will be some love moments, absolutely. There's always, you guys know, we always talk about love. Love makes the world go round. How? Anyways, I can talk about love all the time. Anyways, today we are talking about March break and some fun stuff. So we are at episode 54 of Tuzee Tuesdays, and I have titled today's topic, Time to Connect. Time to Connect. I have titled today's topic, Time to Connect. How many of you are with me, parents, that March breaks, snow days, weekends, PD days, summer breaks, all those little breaks that we get are great times to connect with our kids. Are you with me on that? Great time to connect. Because I don't know about you, but our kids spend so much of their time with teachers. I think six or more hours a day with teachers. Excuse me, I have a itch on my nose. I'm almost always have an itch on my nose. Anyways, but our kids spend so much time with teachers, and if you are a working parent, like myself here, let's say your kids get home around 3:30 or 4 o'clock, and you get home around 5. You have to make supper and do all these things. You don't have a lot of time to really connect with your kids. If you like anything like me, who work 7 to 7 kind of a job, we literally have an hour or 2 hours to connect. And sometimes, I'm not going to lie, I'm too tired. Last thing I want to do is connect as much as I would love to. I'm just going to be honest. And sometimes I find myself, let's just go watch a movie, and because it's one of the easiest things to do. And 100%, I'm always falling asleep to a movie. Are you with me, parent? But yeah, so March breaks and times like this are time to connect. These are time to connect with your kids, and vice versa. Kids, these are time to connect with your parents as well. I was saying, like, our kids spend like over 6 hours a day at school. I really pray that our kids' teachers are inspiring them, are adding values to them, are actually, putting good into them. Because God forbid, if you have a bad teacher that is like, biased and negative of things and saying things that is not right, but you're a parent that is like hardly connect with your kid and you don't know about what's going on, that poor kid, it's a really sad picture. So really, we need to pray for our kids' teachers. We do. We absolutely 100% need to pray that when our kids go to school, that they have a good influencer, they have a good teacher, a teacher that is willing, not that willing to learn and inspire them, because it's very important, and yeah, absolutely. I say to you, parents, pray for your kids' teacher. Kids, you can pray for your teacher too. But it's very important that we do pray that our kids encounter good teachers, people that influence them for the best, I can tell you right now, as you guys know, I'm a singer-songwriter as well as a nurse. So I work with kids of different ages and, people of different ages. I've worked with kids. I've been fortunate enough to work with kids, and I tell you, my goodness, right now the world our kids live in, I don't know if I could survive that world, this world being a kid. There's so many things, like even as an adult, it's a little too much for me sometimes. I'm not joking, but let alone being a kid. So there's a lot. So yeah, we really need to pray for our kids' teacher as well as pray for your kids. Like, pray for your kids. It's very important that we do pray for our kids. But anyways, moving on for today's topic, we're going to go digging into this topic. We are talking time to connect. Time to connect. March break is a time to connect. Time to connect with our kids. Time to connect. I don't know about you guys, but I find March breaks and all these breaks, are one of the most expensive times. And yeah, as you can hear, I have my kids. They're in the basement right now, most likely playing video games. So they're okay. They don't even know they're okay, but I can hear them right now. Um, but anyways, so what was I saying? I lost my train of thought. It happens. It has nothing to do with age. But anyways, March break, as I was saying, March break is a time to connect with our kids. Time to connect with our kids. And why do I mean by that? Time to connect. My computer keep locking on me. I must have my screensaver very short lived, so it constantly locks on me. But anyways, March break, as I was saying, is a time to really connect with our kids. And kids, I want to talk to kids in the room. March break is a great time, but it's also a time, it's not one-way street. You gotta want to connect with your parents too, right? So it's a time that you also connect with your parents. It's a great time. Let's just say that. Time to connect is a great time. So anyways, we're going to dig into time to connect once I can. I hope I can get my computer open because it keeps like closing up on me. But time to connect. What do I mean when I say March break and those times are time to connect? Like I just give you an example. Our kids spend a whole lot more time with a stranger than they spend with us. Like 100%. I don't know, but maybe you homeschool your kid. Bravo for you. That's wonderful. That's amazing. But for a lot of us, we send our kids to school, and it's true. None of those people that are teaching our kids are related to us. They're complete strangers. So that's why, like I said, let's pray for them that they will inspire our kids, influence our kids in the right way every day. But when I'm talking about March break, time to connect, these times, when they're not at school, they're home with you. And I want to say this to you that if you were able to get a time off, maybe you're working parents and you were able to get a time off, I say thank you. Thank you for being able to get the time off. That's wonderful. But if you didn't get the time off and maybe you tried to and couldn't get the time off, or maybe you just couldn't get the time off, I want you to understand, don't be too hard on yourself. Don't be too hard on yourself. Our kids are amazing. Kids are absolutely amazing. I must tell you guys that. Yep, I'm not trying to pat yourself on the back. If you're in the room and you're a kid, you guys are absolutely amazing. You guys are amazing. I'm going to say this. In my life, I've accomplished some things that I'm very proud of and very excited about. But one of my greatest accomplishment, has been being able to be a mom and having kids. It's one of the greatest of it. And I tell you, it's also one of the hardest. One of the hardest, if you really look closely at my hair, you will see there's some bald spots because there are days that I just pull my hair and it's like, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. But our kids, I was saying our kids are amazing. If you're a parent, it's absolutely a blessing. It's a blessing to be a parent. But I was saying to you, if you couldn't get it off work, please don't be hard on yourself. Don't beat yourself up. Your kids understand. But I really, really, really want to encourage you to find time to connect. Connect with your kids. Connect with your kids. It's very important that you connect with your kids. And anyways, you're like, Tuzee, you've been saying connections and this. What does that mean even? I'm pretty sure you know what connection is. What does it mean? To connect something is to bring stuff together, and it takes time, connecting things. It takes time, it takes dedication sometimes. It takes effort to connect sometimes. And when we talk about connecting with our kids, I'm talking about connecting with your kid at their level. You're like, what? Yes, connecting with your kid at their level. And just before we move on to that, I have this very interesting, I remember when my kids were really little, maybe like two, like very little. I can't remember exactly, but I think there's a scenario that she has this paper in her hand and very adamant that it was this color. And I'm like, nope, it's not that color. And she's like, it is this color. I'm like, no, no, honey, it's not that color. Like, you know, and I go, oh, it's that color. Okay, baby, it's that color if you want it to be that color. But it's like connecting to their level. Like, what is it that you see? How can you see a pink in a blue paper? Like, I don't see it. So get me to your level and let me understand, how do you see a pink in a blue paper? But connecting with your kids at their level is very important. You know, some of us, we have teenagers. And I love, it's funny because I tell my daughter, I'm like, I don't think I ever did that when I was a teenager. And then when my mom visited not long ago, she said, yep, I see so much of you and your kid. And I'm just like, yep, Mom, thank you so much for that. Thanks so much for the help, Mom. Thank you so much. That was just wonderful. But anyways, connecting with your kids at their level. And, you know, as difficult as that may sound, it's so worth it. It is so worth it. And that's why I say we are so happy for March breaks and stuff like that, because we don't always have these opportunities to literally have your kid with you all day. You know, and I don't know if I already said this, but you know, some of you are very probably fortunate and have been able to book some time off and some vacations places. You know, I find March breaks and these breaks to be very expensive. I do. You know, take for example a place, Great Wolf Lodge. It's an amazing place. If you haven't been, try it out with your kids, but definitely don't go during March break. Don't do it. Please do not do March break. I'm not joking. This place over March break, it's like it's doubled or tripled the price. Like, you know, regularly a room is like, it's amazing. It's like a whole water theme park, but everything is amazing. It's there. The kids love it. But it's like usually like maybe $350 or $400 a night at this place, and it's amazing. Like, it's probably it's pretty good, well spent money. But what was I saying? Every time I hear my kids make a sound, I'm just like, damn, you know, the mother brain is like, what's going on? But anyways, Great Wolf Lodge, around like this time of the year, the March break, is doubled in price. So maybe you're paying $350 for a room. Now you have to pay like $700 or $800 for a room. And I tell you, you know, it's not like, okay, I'm not gonna book this because you're gonna call me later on when you're ready, because I'm not paying that. These rooms are all fully booked. They are all booked. You know, there's so many parents and so many of us that actually really values these times with our kids, and which is absolutely amazing. It's amazing. These times should really be valued. You know, there's no price tag to them, which is absolutely amazing. And yeah, I know there's camps, you know, you can put your kids into camps, but they're not cheap. Camps are not cheap. Like, you know, all those little cute things you could do, they're not cheap. They're very expensive. So I just want to say to you, if you're a kid in the room, maybe you've been fortunate, your parent booked a very nice place. Maybe you were maybe you're at a vacationing like somewhere, or maybe you made it to Great Wolf Lodge. Say thank you to your parents. Say thank you to your parents for doing that. It cost them a fortune to get you there. Appreciate that you were there. But yeah, thank you so much, you know, for saving your pennies and taking your kids there. That's amazing, absolutely amazing. But we are talking about, you know, time to connect, and you know what? Connections doesn't always have to be expensive. It doesn't have to be expensive. You know, if you can afford all those expensive things, that's wonderful. Absolutely do it. Because why not? Why not do it if you can't afford it? But if you can't afford it, I want to tell you that connecting with your kid to their level doesn't have to be expensive. No, it can be the cheapest thing that you ever done. And it is not, doesn't have to be expensive. So let's explore some really cheap ways we can connect with our kids. I'm sorry, I'm looking at my computer because I'm trying to log in right now because it's locked me out a few times already. Let's see if I remember my password. Let's see about this. Okay, yes, I did. But yeah, so connections does not have to be expensive. Yeah, no, it doesn't. So getting to know your kid and connecting to them at their level does not have to be expensive. Like my children right now, like usually we try to go out and go away somewhere, but my kids are all into video games right now. Video games. Like I made a mistake by buying Legend of Zelda. Do not buy that game for your children. Do not buy it. My kids, that's all they want to play, you know, all day. They just want to play Legend of Zelda. They're trying to get to this level, and that's like all day thing. But yeah, you know, I get them. I take them out whenever I have a minute. I just grab them and yep, we're going now. We can't play video game all day. Good game, but I don't know. But anyways, so in my house, that's video game. I'm hoping maybe I can learn a game. I already learned how to play Animal Crossing. So I don't know if I want to get into Legend of Zelda. You guys know I'm not a biggie when it comes to video games and stuff. So, but who knows? We'll see. If they're spending all the whole day on that game, maybe I might have to learn some of that game. Who knows? Who knows? We'll see how it goes. But anyways, like I was saying, connection does not have to be expensive. The key to connection, though, is you are connecting with your kids and getting to know your kid. And you know what? Connection is not a one-way street, children. I want to take this time to talk to kids. I've been talking a lot to the parents, you know, get to know your kids, connect with your kids, pray for your kids. But it's not a one-way street, guys. You know, and there's a secret I really want to let you guys in on. You know, how you guys, I'm talking to kids right now, you know, how you think of your parent as a superhero, which is absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. You know, I remember my baby saying, my mommy can do anything. And it's like, wow, I love it. But let me let you in on the secret. Your parents are humans. Yeah, your parents are humans. They're not superheroes. And you know, the one flaw with a human is we make mistakes. We are not perfect. And it's the same parents. Your kids are humans. And your children will make mistakes. Your kids will make mistakes. Like, it's vice versa. We will make mistakes and our kids will make mistakes. And that's why, you know, time to connect, March break is not all about visiting our mistakes, but I'm just saying this because I want you guys to know that, you know, that superhero parent, my mom can do everything. She can read my mind. She can do this. And, you know, yeah, we are humans. I know I remember one time I laughed at a joke that I was apparently not supposed to laugh at. I thought it was funny. So I laughed and my daughter said, what is that? Is that supposed to be funny? And I was like, okay, I didn't know I'm supposed to laugh at that. But we are humans. I'm just trying to say that we are humans. Like you're a human, like you expect us to forgive you. Sometimes we need forgiveness as well. So that is the secret I wanted you to know. So remember that, like when you are, you know, maybe angry with your parents today, maybe they did something you're not agreeing with, and you know, lock that door and you don't want to talk to them. Remember, my parent is a human and they make mistakes. And you know what? It's true. So anyways, let's keep going. Let's keep digging into time to connect because there's some really interesting things that I want to talk about. And I feel like I'm getting like stuck on one area right now. So let's keep going. So time to connect does not have to be expensive, but it has to be your time that is dedicated. You have to dedicate this time. Make sure this is a time that you going to connect with your kid. It's not like all of a sudden, you're like, oh, you know what, today we'll be talking about this. We're going to play a game and chat a little bit, and then you schedule a time with your employer to call you at the same time. Kids know when you actually want to take time to talk to them. So schedule that time with your kids and make it for them. Make that time for them. They might have something they want to talk to you about, and listen. Listen, in time to connect, a great piece is be an active listener. We parents, I'm speaking for myself. I'm not going to put anybody else up on a pedestal, but I will put myself, because I know as a parent, this is something that I know I do, and I'm working on it 100%. Like I said, Tuzee Tuesdays, we inspire, we learn, we get better here at this place. But something, we are so quick to speak. We are so quick to speak. We need to listen. Actively listen to what the kid is trying to say. I'm not joking. They might say something that you just like, oh my goodness. Well, say it in your head, but listen. Listen and let them finish the train of thought, and it might just connect eventually. Once they get to the end of what they were trying to say, you might be like, oh, exactly, that's what you're trying to say. But when you cut that kid up, it's like, she don't want to hear what I want to say. And it's not a great way to connect, actually. We need to pay attention to what they're trying to say to us. Absolutely, at the same time, why I say we value our kids' opinion and everything. I am 100%. I believe, I grew up African, and I had to be straight as a pencil. My mom say A, I say nothing. Like whatever. Yeah, we grew up like that. So I definitely believe a kid must respect their parent. I don't care how mad you are with your parent. You want to close that door, that's your business. But you need to understand your parent are your parents, and you have to respect them. And the same thing, vice versa. Parents, we got to respect our kids. We have to respect our kids. It's very, very important. And so time to connect does not need to be expensive. It does not need to be expensive. So you don't need to go to Greatwood Lodge to connect with your kid. No, you don't need to go anywhere else. You can play a card game and connect with them at the card game. Sitting at your table, you're playing and you're connecting. You're going for a run in the morning, you're connecting. And I'm telling you, connecting, like asking them, hey, what makes you happy? Hey, what makes you upset? Hey, what's your favorite color? And I'm telling you, time to connect is not like about, when your kid was 2 years old, you said, what's your favorite color? Mommy, is pink. And then, but now, that kid you talked to when they were 2 years old, they've grown. They might still like pink, but I tell you, there's so many shades of pink. My daughter she still liked blue. But we were talking recently, and she told me something about, oh my goodness, can't remember. I think it's cotton blue. She said it's her favorite blue, and I was like, what is that? I didn't know cotton had a blue, but anyways. But anyways, when you take time to connect with them, it's a deeper level. Like, you don't just want to know their favorite color. You want to know it in more details. I love to see, my daughter loves to sing. Okay. What kind of music does she love to sing? She sings all music. Okay, what is her favorite? You want to know those kind of things. How to express, I've been, I don't know how to speak to boys, because I have been very fortunate to only have girls. I think it's amazing. But for those of you who are boys, you got to get to the level and boy talk with them. I don't know what that is. Sometimes I don't even know what girl talk is, but so we call. But you got to get to that level and find out these things. This is very important. What makes you feel like, beautiful? What makes you, and let me tell you, time to connect is not always time to teach. It's time to listen, like I said, and as much as there's so much you want to teach your kid at a moment, sometimes it's just a time to listen. And I'm not telling you this to tell you that my house is absolutely everything is a-okay in my house. Like I listen all the time, I do all the right things. No. Mm-mm. I'm a parent, like I said, we are humans. I make mistakes. Absolutely. My kids make mistakes. And yeah, absolutely. But you know what? These Tuzee Tuesdays, that's the goal of the show. We inspire each other here and we learn. And I want you guys to know as well too, I'm no psychologist. I'm no children psychologist. I only have kids and I read these things and I'm sharing with you. There's people who actually specialize in school. And if your time to connect is not working, maybe you've been having trouble getting connected with your kids. Maybe it's been a long time. You guys don't see eye to eye at all now. And it's a lot. It's very hard. You know, I was actually talking to a friend of mine. We were together and they told me like they hadn't spoken to their parent for 12 or so many years. And I was like, what? what? Yeah, it's gotta be hard. And he didn't say it with like, oh, I haven't spoken to my parent. I could sense that, you know, why it's gotta be hard. So yeah, we I don't know where I was going with that. But anyways, we need to connect with our kids on a deeper level, like more intimate level, get to know more about them. Like for you guys that have girls, you know, talk about their crushes. My kids said, Mom, you're so weird. But talk about those things. Hey, do you have any crush on any boy? You just like scratch your head, and even though you don't really want to know, but that's not true. You want to know because where do you think they're going to get information if you don't talk to them? It's either from that teacher at school that probably do not even have a kid but's been reading a book, or I'm not saying there's no good teacher that does not have kids. No, I don't want them. I don't want to disrespect teacher. I respect teacher 100%. I do. Or they go on the internet to find out these things. And I tell you, it's so much better for them to talk to you about those things than actually go on the internet. As much as you want to be like, girl, you got it, stop. Keep your cool, mama. Keep your cool and listen. You were once there, you know, you were there. So anyways, but connection does not have to be expensive. You got that? You got that? You can play a game, you can bake together, you can cook together, you can do laundry together, make it fun. Stay in your pajama, watch a movie together, pause a movie every so often, is talk about things, like little things. And this time that in connection, you're gonna want to teach, you know. Maybe your kid is like one of those they're struggling to fit in. And it's hard telling a 12, 13, 11 years old, whatever child you have, and you know what, you don't need to fit in, you don't need to, even for adult grown-up person, it's hard. So you want to approach that very uniquely and give, you know, and be sensitive about it too when you approach that. And kids, don't be afraid to, you know, I'd rather my parent yell at me than never say anything and just covered everything. And, you know, talk to your parents. This is your time to connect. Talk to your parents about stuff. You know, maybe there's something you don't understand at school. Maybe there's a topic you guys are discussing that's a little, you know, above your head, you know, and you want some understanding and you know your parent can give it to you, but you're like, talk to them. Tell them about you. You know, it's great. And parents, this is another thing too. Oh my goodness, I haven't even done Tuesday's joke time. This is like, I'm just like, I tell you, this topic is just like swallows me. I could talk all day, you know, about connections, because I love to connect. You know, it's not easy connecting with kids sometimes, but I love it. I love connecting because it's so interesting, the things you hear from kids. I used to work as a youth leader, and that was one of my best times, actually. I loved it so much. It was so beautiful working with them. But anyways, I was speaking of jokes. But yeah, so connections does not have to be expensive. We got that. Connections, you want to make it fun. Make it fun and make it memorable, that kids look forward to it. You know, it's very important. I'm not saying be in denial and say, you know, whatever my kids tell me is 100%. Yep. And I'm getting a call right now. I'm sorry. But But make it fun and make it memorable. That you know what, when March break comes around again, yeah, mom, let's do the same thing that we did last year. They're excited. Of course, it's not going to be the same because every year kids grow, that color change, the likes change, the dislikes, and all those other things. But excuse me, make it fun, make it memorable. Doesn't have to be expensive. Doesn't need to be too glamorous. Okay, if you can afford it, absolutely go for it. Go for it, 100%. Like I was saying, play games. If you're not into video game and that's all your kids spend their time on, please learn it. Learn video game. You want to know what your kids are spending their whole day on. You want to know what it's saying in that game. It's not because you want to be a bossy parent, but at the same time, I'm sorry. I'm so like, but you want to know what your kids are playing on. Road trips. Road trips are another good ones, They're in the car with you and they don't have anywhere to go. You're with them. Make it interesting. Kick in some questions. Hey, so what's the best thing about life right now? And you're going to hear from them, So we want our kids to be open with us. And speaking of kids being open, I want to talk to parents. You got to be open with your parents. Like I said to the kids, we're not superheroes. We try to act like we are all the time. How many of you have actually cried in front of your kids? How many of you actually come home from a terrible day and say, oh my goodness, guys, it's so terrible. I had a terrible day. I don't know. I don't even remember my mom ever crying. And I can tell you, we went through civil wars. But we always try to act like we're so strong. And it's good. But sometimes you gotta come to your kids' level. You gotta be able to tell them, I hurt sometimes. I cry too. Life is not everything perfect for me. They need to know that part of you. You don't always have to show them the strong part. We feel like when we show our kids the weaker part of us, they're going to be weak. No. I think if you're always showing them that you're so strong, then they don't want to be compared to you because they're like, oh my goodness, my mom never does that. My mom would never. You got to show them your other side. You got to show them that, this mom, she strives for perfection, but she ain't perfect. She hurt too sometimes. She breaks down sometimes and all those things. But anyways, like I said, I was going to share a joke. Oh my goodness. Kids, I'm not being very good today. I'm not being very good. I just want to talk to you guys so much. And I really hope that you guys are having a good March break though. I really hope so. Like, I hope you've done something fun, right? And I hope if you haven't, I hope in the next few days you will do something fun, memorable and fun. Make it memorable and make it fun. But I was going to share this joke with you guys. It's actually really cool. Let's do this. So, since we're talking to kids, I wanted to share a joke about school. This is funny. Oh my goodness. Where is this joke? It's coming. Okay. So, there's this teacher. I don't know what class it was. So this teacher, she must be a math teacher because she was talking to this kid by the name of Johnny. She says, if I give you 2 cows, and then if I give you 2 cats, rather not cows, it's the same C, but it's cats. If I give you 2 cats, and another 2 cats, and another 2, how many cats? How many would you have? And Johnny says, 7. And the teacher's like, no, listen carefully. If I give you 2 cats, and another 2 cats, and another 2, how many would you have, Johnny? And he says, 7. I would have 7 cats. And then the teacher said, okay, let's change it. Let me do this a little different. She said, if I give you 2 apples, and another 2 apples, and another 2 apples, how many apples? How many apples would you have? And Johnny says, 6. I would have 6 apples. So the teacher said, okay, let's try this now. If I gave you 2 cats, and I give you another 2 cats, and another 2 cats, how many cats would you have? And Johnny said, 7. And the teacher's like, oh my goodness, Johnny, why are you not getting this? How do you get 7? And Johnny said, because I already have a cat at home. Oh my goodness. Oh Oh my goodness, that is funny. Just a little addition joke. And there's another one that I wanted to share with you guys. I thought I would share too, yeah. I don't know if that one was very, very funny, but I thought it was funny. Anyways, here's another one. So, it's another teacher and another student. It's all about teachers and students today. So, a teacher asks a student to use the word beans. So, beans, you know, the vegetable beans, in a sentence. So, one girl said, my father grows beans. Teacher said, yep, that's wonderful. And the other boy said, my mom cooks beans. And then there was this third student held his hand very high and spoke up and said, we are all human beings. We are all human beings, like beans. You know, I could totally be a vegetable with how pricey the veggies are going up now. I could just be a human being. But anyways, guys, I hope you laughed a little bit, because here at Tuzee Tuesdays, we try to have some fun. That is the goal of the show, you know, to have some fun, inspire, add value, and, you know, learn to love ourselves enough to love on others. But anyways, we have been exploring time to connect. And, you know, I think I'm way over my time, absolutely. But it's been wonderful talking to you guys. And I really want to encourage you, you know, really kids, you guys, I didn't start my show like this, but I really meant to, because I want to say this to you. You guys are amazing. You guys are so awesome. Like, it's no joke. Like, don't let nobody tell you anything else besides you are absolutely amazing. And it's great that you know, we have this time, and you need to share some of your amazingness with us. We want to get to know you, you know, that your friend knows and want to hang out with all the time, you know, that you know, we want to get to know you too. As parents, you know, we might be a little old school, but you know what, there's no such thing as old dog don't learn new trade. You know, nowadays parents, we're always, I tell you, I'm going to learn video games. So, and I tell you, if there's anything you know about me, I actually despise video game. I did not like video game until I started having kids. So we're learning. So get to show us some of your abilities. So, like, just to wrap up really quickly, because I know I'm already way over my time, I have read a lot of books. Like I said, I've done a lot of things in my life, you know, becoming a nurse, you know, coming to Canada, going through civil wars, like the list just goes on. But I tell you, one of the greatest things I've done in my life is being a parent. I think it's one of my greatest achievements, but I tell you, it's difficult. It's absolutely difficult sometimes being a parent. It's so much. And I've read quite a few books. I'm a singer-songwriter, and I don't do a lot of reading unless if it's like romantic and stuff. But with my kids, I've started reading a lot of books. And I happen to read one of these, like this book. I'm not completely done with it, but it is by Barbara Colosoro. And it's apparently one of, it's #1 national bestseller. So parents, this might be a book that you could add to your list if you're a reader. And it's a beautiful book. But I chose this book because it has something really cool in it. There's a piece that I really want to share before I go. But you know, thank you so much for listening today. And I hope what we've talked about will inspire you. You will take time to connect with your kids over the March break. And kids, you will take time to connect with your parents. Let them get to know you. Okay, let them get to know you. You get to know your parents, you know, on a deeper level. Absolutely, it's very important. But you know, our theme in Tuzee Tuesdays for this year, 2023, our theme is I Am Worth It. New Year, New Me. And the title of this book, I just love it. It says, Kids Are Worth It. That's beautiful. Kids are worth it. Absolutely worth it. And I just want to read this little piece to you. This is on page 11. And it says, kids are worth it. They are worth it because they are children and for no other reason. They have dignity and worth simply because they are. They do not need to prove their value as human beings, like the other beings, like beings, like the real beings. They don't have to prove their worthiness to us. Nor do they need to earn our affection. And you listen to this. Our love for them cannot be conditional. Our love for them cannot be conditional, although our likes and dislikes can be. So yeah, I love it. I think it's really cool. And it goes on as some really cool reads in here. But yeah, it's so true. Our love for our kids has to be unconditional. You know, you can't say, I love you to the moon and back when you're good. And then when you're not so good, I love you right to the front door. You are too much. It's not like that. It's the same like us being children of God. You know, God loves us every day. Even when we sin, he still loves us. And it's the same for us parents. We need to love our kids despite their very argumentative voices, despite their slamming doors in our faces. We need to love them. However, though, like the book says, our likes and dislikes can be changed. We don't need to like their nose ring. Absolutely not. We don't need to like, those things, but we need to love our kids. You need to love them enough to want to connect with them. And guys, this is Tuzee Tuesdays. I'm so sorry we went way overboard, but it was so much fun talking to kids. I love talking to kids. As I said, I was a youth leader, and it was one of my best times. Just hearing from kids and what. So please don't forget, put some stuff in the comments. There's parents out there want to know what works. Please put stuff in the comment, whatever's been working for you, especially time to connect. Like, talk about how you've been connecting with your kids, what's been working and what hasn't been working, and let's explore. We need to help each other. We are all in this together. I love you guys so much, and thank you so much for being here. Once again, this is Tuzee Tuesdays, episode 54, and our topic has been time to connect. I love you guys so much. Have a great day, and happy March break. Love ya. Bye-bye.